beginning the journey on a truly uniquely different carving that I've never, something I've been thinking about that's grown out of a commission for a very special paper. And she's going to have her head and her body's going to come down, and it's going to be sloping and flowing down into the overall body, which will be this part of it. And the head's going to be very prominent. It's going to be like a mounting on a wall, a billet head, a figurehead, but it's actually going to be part of an eagle, and your imagination can take over the rest of it. It's going to be quite different. I've taken a pattern from one of my previous Bellamy's, and in fact it's the Boston Bellamy, and I've reduced it in size so it's just the head and part of the wing and the body comes down into here. Could add more, but when you start adding more, then you have different areas that are going to be missing. So in this case, she's just going to have the head and part of her body as being the main focus of our attention. That's all for now, more to come. A reevaluation, so to speak, in the overall layout of the body of the head area. After looking at it and having a discussion with Fran, she suggested I put this in here like I was going to do, but make it a lot smaller than the present feather that's here. She said it's overwhelming, so I think I'm going to be putting this in, adding this into the overall flow of the piece, so it comes up, and it's just hanging here with nothing here, but big enough where it gives us a momentous line that's coming straight up versus a static, empty area. Just another update, just wanted to fill you in as it's occurring, so it's just the things you do when you're working on a piece. You self-analyze it until it comes out to where it feels good. And this, I think, feels good. Let me know what your thoughts are. Going where no man has gone before, the Bellamy style carving. This is going to be truly unique. It's going to have a body that's going to, as I was talking about before, it's going to flow down and have a curve to it. So her body's going to really flow into the wings, and then the rest of the wing area is going to have a real flow to it. And this part here is going to flip up. As you're seeing, I'm going to take this part here and I'm going to add to this area here and then carve down as I did this. But first I'm going to carve this down and round it off and give the body a full roundness that I'll be obtaining or trying to obtain in the carving. As you're seeing, this is starting to form this way over here. So I think overall, the presentation is going to be one of a dramatic sweep up and coming down and then flipping up. And then after it's all done, a nice big banner is going to come up and flip up this way with a very unique motto being put on it. That's it for now. More to come. Bye. Her form is coming into shape, so to speak, on this piece. You'll notice that she's really coming down, starting to round into her body here. I will be adding this on to the top and then rounding it off and flipping it up and coming it down into her other feathers. And that will be one big flow of her body from this part into here. And over here, you'll be noticing that this part here is going to be rounded in and rounded into here. So it's going to have a more round body shape across here and across here as we're coming down. And of course, this area here will have a lot more rounding off, will flow into the overall body and into the feathers. The smaller feathers on her wing area, her body area, so to speak. But overall, I think, or I should say I know, that she's going to be quite a beauty when she's done. Enjoy the journey. Hope you are also. Bye. She's really coming to life, as you will be observing. The depth of the cuts are becoming more and more pronounced, and the overall presentation is really been enhanced. See the depth all the way in through here, it cuts down here. Now this will be, more and more of this will be rounded off. The main area that will be rounded off now will be this area here. I'm really starting to bring this in and I'm going to flow this down, and then each one of these will have a flip to it. So her overall body will look like she's flying away from the mantle that she will be flying home to ultimately. But ultimately she's really coming along nicely. Here's the other piece that's going to be mounted onto here shortly. But this is a good example of what it takes to get these pieces done and ultimately together. That's it for now. More to come. Securely locked into place. As you will be observing, I'm proceeding with the wing and the feather area on her. This part here is going to flow down and into the piece, and this part here is going to flow down, and then the bottom part here is going to flow up. So I'm going to have a very dramatic curve to her. So it's going to flow down, up, and then these other feathers will have a dramatic flare to her. Overall, you can see the body itself has come along nicely. The rounding of both areas. Underneath, this area here is starting to come more and more and more until I get a little bit more into here, so it has more of a flow to it. And then again, the whole wing area is going to appear like it's floating off her body, flying in the air. And then the banner is going to come down and fly up into the air. Overall, I think she's coming along nicely. More to come as we proceed on our project. And that's a close-up. That's it for now. Bye. Adding more depth and detail. As you will be observing, we're starting to get a little bit of flare here, and this is really going to come down a lot more, but it looks kind of thick, but here we go. Here's our side view. And all of this will be coming in, and this last one's going to have a big sweep up, and this is going to really come down. I wanted to have this part up here, so I have a lot of form flowing down into it. Overall, I think she's going to be a beauty, again, but it's just nice to see the progress as you're working on them versus seeing something when it's all done. And you can see the detail. I've added more detail down here and all around the bottom. Pick this up a little bit. Here we go. Now you can start seeing how that's really coming to life. Overall, I keep on using that term a lot, but she's coming along nicely. She's going to be a real eye catcher when she's done. She's going to look like she's floating off the mantle when she's done. Bye for now. Progressing on our eagle, as you'll be observing, these are all flaring up and coming in to the body. I'm doing something a lot more distinctly different than before. This is going to be a round over, flaring up and coming down and around the back side, so it's going to be one whole section, but I'm going to have them cut into here for this part of the feather, and then these feathers are going to be rounded up and rounded under, as you'll be observing in 2 seconds here. I'm starting to round them off and come into a rounded off position on each and every single one of them. So each one's going to be separate and distinctive versus just being one body mass, which is what Bellamy used to do. I'm taking it a step further, making each one separate and more pronounced than was ever done before. And you'll see this now, how the head's coming on into the body. There we go. And how those are lined up. Oops, there we go. But overall, you're getting an appearance of a body that's going to be full formed and rounded versus what was happening before with the style that John Bellamy used to do, which is now going to become my new style. Bye. A progress report or a development report. And keep on saying it's a progress report, but you're going to notice again how each area is starting to sweep up, come up, and have a full dimensionality to it, so it's coming away from the body. This part here is actually going to flow up, and then I'm going to be cupping this a lot more and making this a much more sharper edge than what it is presently. I think overall she's really going to have a lot more character than I anticipated, especially on the back side and on this area here. I think she's going to be quite nice. I'm going to do this, and you'll be able to see the back side, how each feather is now having its own distinct personality or own placement on the back side. I amaze myself sometimes, but it's just, you start working on a piece, as any artist does, and it starts talking to you to take you in a different direction. This is what this piece has done for me. It's a process, but it's a fun process. More to come as we proceed. Bye. Well, she's all together now. All together now. You've been viewing her in her completed and solid form. This area here has been secured to this area here by Gorilla Glue. back side, and you'll be observing. Has a complete flow to it, complete presentation, and of course our back side. I'm starting to fill in the security holes here. Then I'm going to be putting in my pegs for my keyhole slots next. And the process is going to be, I'll be finishing this up to the point where I'll be putting her on the lawn and observing her for a few days to see what I can find out what I don't like about her, which is very low right about now. But overall, when you put it on the wall, then you get a three-dimensional aspect that you don't see on a piece when it's flat on the surface of my working table or carving area. But overall, I think she's going to be a great looking piece. Look at that angle. Nice, huh? More to come. Bye. The Bellamy head and wing, and you'll be observing how she's come to life. Very proud head and appearance overall. And down here you can see how this has all come to life all the way down through here. Again, another dramatic change from overall presentation that Bellamy would have done. And now it's becoming common in most of my pieces. The wing area here has a flow. The feathers will flow in and then flow down. And on the back side, the really dramatic aspect of this is going to be when I put the banner on her and that flares up. But I hope you're enjoying the journey. Our little lady is all completed. Put the detail into her. You'll see some polymer filler. I used that where I wanted to add some more changes after I had her carved. And some areas that I didn't like after I had her carved. So it's a process, but overall it came out to be a real beauty this time. You'll notice the swerve down here flowing into the body, overall presentation. So next stage will be me priming her. And then cleaning her up and getting ready for the banner. The fun continues. Primed with our turpentine, linseed oil, and an undercoating of the Hollandac paint that I use. Cuts it down, penetrates, and seals the wood. As you'll be observing, she's all sealed in all the way to the bottom. The details really came out a lot crisper and sharper. When I recarve it again and resand it again, everything will come more to life. The next thing that I'll be doing is adding the banner that we'll be flipping up and coming to life on her next. But overall, I think she came out quite nice, quite uniquely done, if I may say so myself, and I generally do. But you can see the detail on her head and the flow of the body. Hope you're enjoying the journey. Bye. Our truly unique Bellamy has been redefined and detail added to it. And you'll be able to see there, it's going to have a really proud head as I anticipated. You'll see that. And then on the back side, her feathers are flying up, they're having a flow up to them. Again, we're going to have an appearance of her coming away from the wall to having her flying away. And now the banner will be going from here, flowing down and coming up. So it's going to be a much more dramatic flow than I had anticipated, but I think it's going to be quite nice when she's done. Yeah, there's a close-up. A lot of fun. More to come. Bye. And we're progressing to the stage for our eagle for her banner. And this piece here and this piece here will be the banner. It's going to be, well, actually it's 2 inches thick. So I'm going to laminate 2 pieces together, so it's going to be roughly 4 inches wide and then 18 inches long. But this will give you an idea of the process that I use in creating the banner. And the banner is going to go from her beak area, mouth area, flow down, come up, and then flip up and come out. It's going to be quite beautiful. It's going to be called Strength and Honor on the banner. And I think that should fit very nicely into that area. But the process begins, or continues, I should say, on the banner. And she's all done, but I gotta get the banner done, and then line her up and make sure she's secure before I go on to the next stages, which will be gold leafing, which is a lot of fun. More to come. Bye. Our journey has taken us to the banner, and as you will be observing, here is our banner, Strength and Honor. And I've added a star to the front, and of course our flag, red, white, and then the blue. And this all will be it is all hand carved now. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And you can see the quality of the carving of the strength, star, and she came out quite nice. The flow of it is absolutely beautiful. And reach down here, and you'll see how this is going to be attached to her this way. It's going to really flare up. It's going to be away from the body, and it's going to be quite a dramatic presentation. And of course, here is our eagle, all gold leafed and ready for her banner. Final stages. Lots of fun, really enjoyable commission. More to come. That's all for now. Bye. Well, I didn't want to wait, so I wanted to get this out to show you how she looks. As you'll be observing, here is our Strength and Honor eagle. You'll notice how she has that three-dimensional aspect that we're trying to achieve, and I think I've done that. Here it is with the banner coming out. We'll come down here now. You'll see how everything is still flowing away from the overall presentation of the body. You have to excuse the other eagle. I had to put her in between some of my other pieces, but I just wanted to share this tonight before I called it an evening. And you'll see how the banner really flares out. It's really a dramatic change from any other banner that I've ever done. It's really hanging out there, so to speak. But I think overall, back in, back out, back out. I think she's going to make a great presentation for you for many years to come. Enjoy.